Howdy, can you hear me okay?
I can
Yep.
hear you just fine, brother. I
Cool.
can hear you just fine. Hey, everybody, we are live. We're just starting this week's Prosperity Team, Team Love and Light, Simple Freedom. We got so many on the Alliance right now. It's crazy. We're growing fast. My name's Franco. I'm going to be a bit of your host this evening with my brothers in arms here, George Greer, Kevin Souza. What's happening, guys? How you doing?
Hey, how's it going,
Wonderful.
Franco?
Oh, we're doing great, man. We're doing great. Guys, we bring this hangout to you every single week on Thursday, and it actually butts up, it takes us right into the 15K formula product with Empower Network that we're redeveloping from scratch. I've been on every single one of those training webinars every single week since we started redoing them. I don't know, guys, about 2 months ago, about a month ago. It's been a whole ton of training over there. Every single one has been worth more than $1,000. Every single independent lesson has been worth more than $1,000 in marketing value, strategy, tactics, methodology, mindset, everything. So it's been an awesome recreation of that product. And we've got right now, I think we're up to 7 or 8 or 9 of those things. Each one has been like 2-3 hours of training. Things that you can take right to work and build your internet marketing business, build Empower Network, build whatever else you're trying to sell with this training. And it's on tonight. So if you're already on the team, I highly recommend, guys. Correct me if I'm wrong, if you guys have heard different, but I think they're bringing out superstar mega traffic guru Shakir Hussein. I think he's going to be on tonight. That's kind of a little bit of noise I've heard in the private groups and inner circle type stuff. But if that's the case, guys, you guys need to get back there right now, click on upgrade, own the $1,000 product, because then we're going to get into how to position yourself to have $1,000 days. So without further ado, let's get started. Guys, members, non-members, click the button below. Get back to the person who invited you. If you're watching this on a cool page that says Lies Exposed up on top, then it's another free tool that we give you. It's already coded with your inviter, with your sponsor's link already on the button. Just click on the button, join us, and then opt into the members page before we're done tonight. Opt in and upgrade to the 15K formula and join us on that lesson tonight. We'll have you rock and roll in marketing tomorrow. Tonight, here's what we're going to talk about. And this hits home for me, and I'll go through a little bit of my story in a little bit, but all that matters right now is that Empower Network helped me do that in 12 months, and for my buddies over at the FTC, FCC, FBI, CIA, and all that good stuff, results not typical, guys. We're big boys and big girls in the room here. We're internet marketers. Some of us have been doing this for a little while. Some of us just got started 6 months ago and made more than that. But that doesn't mean that you're going to make that. We're not guaranteeing any income. It's all dependent on your big why you're here, what drives you, what makes you quit, what makes you, kick rocks and go home after every little thing has a little piece of adversity, what keeps you going, and then how you apply what you're learning in the marketing world. And that's what we teach you. So we'll get into that in a second. Tonight you were invited to learn about a select list of lies. We're going to expose some industry lies that a few years ago, maybe they were truths. Maybe they were truths. Many of them were because there were no other options. But in 2013, if you're coming to build a business from home and create an income from scratch, and you don't want to waste a lot of time or spend a ton of time away from your family, you don't come to the internet to become a telemarketer, then we're going to expose some lies, some misinformation, some dirty, filthy information that is not going to help you. It's not helping millions out there. And knowing that knowledge today, you're not going to have that as an excuse anymore. You're not going to feel confused. You're not going to be overwhelmed. You're going to have a tight strategy on how, part 2 of the training tonight, how $1,000 days are truly created in this industry. So a little bit about me, because I pop on these hangouts every single week. I get something from them every single week, and I've been doing this a long time, guys. And if you can model people that have stood the test of time and have created full-time income streams, if you can model how they think, what they do, their habits, their disciplines, their strategies and tactics, if you can just clone, copy, and deploy the stuff that we've just gone through battles to learn how to do, What we're not doing is also telling, and what we are doing on a daily basis to build our business can help you eliminate, drastically reduce any learning curve. I jumped into this industry 19 years old, right in the military. A buddy of mine on base in a Navy hospital up in Bremerton, Washington. I'll never forget this day. I forgot the guy's name. His last name is Love. It's just come into my head. I was thinking about that today. What was that guy's name? But one of my shipmates, fellow medic in a hospital. We were working at the Navy hospital. I had just come off a deployment with the 3rd Battalion, 5th Marines as a combat paramedic. I was pretty much depressed because, it's one, the U.S. Navy has a couple of different worlds. I was in the world with the U.S. Marine Corps as a combat medic. It was sexy, it was dangerous, it was intense. We were jumping, rappelling out of helicopters and floating on LSTs and Gator Navy stuff, landing on the beach and in amphibious vehicles and all kinds of that hoorah stuff, right? And then, so I served my time there, but in the Navy, you go through cycles. Right? So you spend your sea duty, and then they give you shore duty. And on shore duty, if you're intelligent and you've been on some pretty dangerous missions and deployments, they open up the book and they allow you to pick from technical schools or different career paths. And because I had gone to combat, I served in combat in first Desert Storm, the whole campaign there out in the Gulf. And we had done some combat missions, and thank God I came home alive. My buddies came home alive. We lost some brothers out there, and that's the way of the warrior, right? So we come home, but because I had been in that kind of dangerous deployment, they completely opened up the book and said, "What do you want to do?" And at that point, I had read enough. Listen, I had read enough of Napoleon Hill, Og Mandino, Dale Carnegie. I had put myself into enough personal development to know, and I looked around. I had a knack for observing what was going on with people that were 10, 15 years, even 20 years ahead of me, and how their life looked. And I'm going to ask you tonight to begin, if you haven't done so, begin to look around at the people you covet lifestyles with right now. The people that you see and you think they're high rolling. Are they really? The people that you think is where you want to be in 5, 10 years. Is it really where you want to be? I asked myself that. Do I really want to make a career of this thing? And it seemed like after that there was Mogadishu in Somalia, then there was Bangladesh, and there was all kinds of stuff was popping everywhere, and I wanted to settle down and raise a family. And I had to come to terms with, am I going to do this just for me? Am I going to be the warrior for 20, 30 years and hopefully I live to tell about my stories? Or am I looking for something else to build a family right now? And do I like what I see in that career path? Nothing wrong at all. Some of the best years of my life were in the military. But what I saw was guys driving around in old, beat-up cars. They were drinking. They were stressed out. They were just living a life that I didn't feel edified where I wanted to build a lifestyle for my family. And so I decided to take some technical training. So I'm in this hospital taking some training and working with eye doctors, and then my buddy shows up one day. I'm 20, 21 years old. He was a couple years younger than me, 19 years old. And he tells me, "Hey, I need you to come over my apartment tonight. We're having a meeting. I got this big wig coming over from Prudhoe Bay in Alaska, and he's going to, what's this about? He's going to show us how to get rich in 3 to 5 years. I'm going to be retired in 3 years. You watch me. What's this about? Forget it, just come over." And that was my introduction to network marketing. That was about 1992, 1993 is when I first got involved. Guys, I want to tell you this because it might resonate with somebody that's at that point in their life right now. At that point in my life, I couldn't speak to 2 people, even if they were my friends, even if they were my family, 2 cousins, an uncle, whatever, at the same time, in a public environment without getting all cold and clammy and sweaty. I was the most introverted person you have ever met. I stumbled and mumbled and fumbled my words. I was reading personal development books because I wanted to change that about me. I knew that was going to limit me in my life. It was going to limit my communication skills were severely hampered, and I couldn't do anything in corporate world. I couldn't do anything in entrepreneur world, free enterprise world, sales world, nothing. Not even in the military. You have to have a certain conviction and assertive attitude and communication skills to lead people in the military, and I didn't have that. So I was the most introverted, shy person. I was in my own head. My self-talk was, you're not worth that much. You're not as good as him. You're not as good as that. They went to a better school. He's taller. He's bigger. He's smarter. He's faster. My self-talk was just beating myself up every day. I'm just telling you that because I meet people that come into this industry, and that's where they're at. And a lot of us have been there before, but we train people and we guide you to training and information and books and audios that can help you in time, in a little bit of time. What we're going to talk about tonight is something on the business and the marketing end where you can get paid even if you have all those handicaps. See, I had all those personal hang-ups about myself, and it kept me 9 years in this industry. I was in, out, quitting, restarting, jumping program to program, system to system, and I never made any money for 9 years. However, I never regretted it because I would go to functions. I had audios in my head. I had training in my mind. I was constantly listening and studying and watching the top producers. Here's another point too. A lot of people say, well, what's the average person, making in your company? Is everybody doing that? Is everybody doing that right there? And everybody wants to know what the average person is doing. Do you know in 9 years that I failed and stumbled in this industry, I never gave a rip what the average person was making. I didn't care because I didn't want that average person to determine what I was capable of doing. You know who I was studying? I was studying the people on stage. I was studying the people that were on the conference calls training. I was studying the people that their names were on the cassette tapes. That's how long I've been around. Cassette tapes that I was studying and being inspired by. I was always trying to learn from the top producers because if I knew anything, I knew that it was just a journey. It was only a matter of time. I was educating myself, putting good stuff in my head so good stuff can flow out into my content. And I knew whatever they can do, I can do. It was just a matter of time because I was just naive and I believed when they told me that. And isn't it true, guys, that a lot of people, they hear the same thing, but they don't hear that part. They want your best ad, Kevin. Kevin, how do I get a video on Facebook, Kevin, that gets thousands and thousands of shares? I want to do that, Kevin. Show me the secret, right? But they don't listen to the part where you tell them it's going to take some time. You got to get good stuff in your head, and it's a journey, it's a process. But here's the good news. I didn't have what you're exposed to tonight. I didn't have that button where you could just click, get started while you listen to us. Get started, 25 bucks affiliate fee, and get rolling, get in the back office, upgrade to the 15K tonight, and be with us learning in the classroom together. I didn't have that mechanism, right? I had to do it all on my own. You have something so automated that you can use these recorded hangouts, these live hangouts, the conference calls we have on Monday, the webinars we do daily to train, and your marketing can be out there in spite of your lack of communication skills, your attraction skills, and your traffic generation skills. We tell you, we teach you, we show you step by step, point and click, where you can do things to get some traction. So I joined at that age, completely introverted, not making any money for years and years, plugging into my personal development and learning marketing skills at the same time. It was a journey I had to win in my own head, right? While I was doing that, I heard a lot of things that I took naively to be true. Guys, I'm going to start sharing this list with you because our intention, our purpose, why we're here is to help you break through. That's why I do it. That's why I'm in Power Network. I know that's why George is here. I know that's why Kevin is here. We've broken bread. We were in Austin together. We go to all the events. We're like family here. And our collective purpose, our intention, and our reason why, yes, we all have our personal reasons, but you know what we found out at the live event? We all have one big collective reason that supersedes our personal reasons. And what is that? That is to see other people like us, like you and I right now on this hangout, to see you finally freaking break through and get a break in life and learn how to create your own work, learn how to turn that into your own profits, learn how to create your own income from home, and further than that, because we have seen that it's not hard, guys. We want to see you start having $500 days, $1,000 days. And I think what I had today, I haven't confirmed it yet, but I think I had a $3,000 day today plus a $1,000 sale that came in. And it wasn't because of my activity. It was because we know how to empower other people, and it's their leverage and their efforts, and we're all working together. And Mr. Aki Wood is in the house, and I love the hat, and he's awesome. And we'll do a proper introduction in a few seconds. Aki, we're getting into some of the lies, man, that a lot of us heard as we came in this industry. And I know from listening to your brother and your story that we suffered through the same pain and lies that we're about. So I'm just going to go down a quick list, and then we'll open it up to the panel, and we'll kind of talk through some of these things. But here's kind of the very first lie that I heard. And back then it might have been, factual information. I don't know. But nowadays we have no excuse, guys. But, people told me that I was going to get rich in this industry building long-term residual income, and that it had to be a 3 to 5 year plan. So long-term residual was going to make me rich, building one downline, 10, 20,000 people over 3 to 5 years, and that's the only way that I was going to get rich in this industry, 3 to 5 years. And long-term residuals, we'll get into that in a second because that didn't pan out for me. I tried to build long-term residuals and downlines over and over, and started and built it and shattered and started and built it and shattered, and company would change this and change that, kick me out, kick us this, change this, and it just never panned out even when I was trying to do that. We'll get into that in a second. The other thing they told me, Franco, buckle in, build a downline one time, it's going to pay you for the rest of your life. Walk away residual income. Right, Kevin? Did you buy into that one, buddy? Walk away residual income. Every time I walked from wherever I was doing a presentation, if I walked from my business and took 5 steps to the left, my income would immediately start going down. So I didn't get that one either. The third one was, you're going to create this walk away income by making a list of your friends and family. You're going to be a millionaire by making a list of your friends and family, right? And then that one kind of sat me down a bit. I was 19 years old and dumb and introverted and all that stuff. But, I sat down for that one. I said, well, that's not the way Walmart built their millions. That's not how Chase Bank does it, or Verizon. I don't think those executives all sat down in the boardroom and got out a piece of paper and wrote down a list of their friends and family. I don't know. Okay, I'm going to believe you. Let's get rolling. But I didn't know about that one because I knew my friends and family. I was like, dude, really? My friends and family? We're swinging hammers, man, laying tile and pouring concrete and stuff. I don't know how that's going to work to make me a millionaire, but I'll believe you if this magical system will work. That's another thing that I got told. The other one, this one was pretty insidious. This one really, I didn't even stop truly believing in this lie up until a few months ago, about a year ago. Franco, 200 dials, buddy. If you can make 200 phone calls to your friends and family and strangers you meet, 3-foot room, walking around Walmart, if you make 200 dials a day, you're going to get rich in this industry. And I tried that one for years and years and years. I didn't think $200 were enough, so I got this mumbo jumbo, machine thing that would dial 400 and 500 people a day for me. And for years it just wasn't panning out. It just, all this stuff together. You're gonna get rich, guys. You're gonna 3-way into business freedom. You're gonna 3-way. Just do 3 ways. And everything's going to be okay because we have one rock star that closes about everybody, and he does 3 ways all day long and eats them up like Tic Tacs. Just roll everyone into a 3-way, and we'll talk about that a little bit. And then, of course, the one that finally broke the final straw that broke the camel's back for me was you're going to get rich, and we pay 5%. So 5% commission. You're going to get really rich in 3 to 5 years building one downline, walk away residual income, because we're going to put people on a $125 deal, $125 auto ship, and you're going to make $5 per member per month. And that's how we're going to get rich. So these are some of the lies that even still today, when we approach people on Facebook, or people on Facebook, YouTube, and our blogs stop by, and they see what we're saying, what we're teaching, what we're showing them at our events, and even still they say, You guys are full of hype. That's not realistic. It's not reality. It's a 3 to 5 year plan. You have to work the phones. You have to do dog and pony, milk and cookie meetings in strangers' houses. In the snow in Canada, in Toronto right now, or all up and down the eastern seaboard, right? I don't have an excuse, I guess, even in that model in Arizona and California. It never rains here. But over there, they're still teaching that. And they say that we're just teaching people a bunch of hype. And all I did a year ago, without even focusing, I was scattered. And that still happened for me, while all of these lies I was applying in another project diligently every single day. And my income there never broke a tenth of there. Never, ever. And if I wasn't on the phone or doing milk and cookie meetings and all that stuff, nothing was happening. And that was me, and I've got some years of experience. My team, nothing. Absolutely nothing. They were coming and going. So I just wanted to open it up, guys. Did I leave anything out of the list? Mr. Aki Wood, here's the brother of David Wood, founder and creator of Empower Network, and he's got stories for days, man. I mean, this guy's one of the most real badasses I have ever met, real and authentic and genuine, and every time we have him out, I just kick back and listen, and just hilarious stories. Aki, man, I know you've got some stories about the list of lies that we've exposed tonight, brother.
Oh, man. I mean, Frank, can you hear me okay? Am I coming through?
Yeah, I can hear you great.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I mean, of course I do. I mean, we all do. Anybody that's been around this industry for a while is going to get fed up, is going to get caught into the lies. I mean, there's not just lies on the outside world when we're talking about like old school marketing, because old school marketing works. You can make it work. It's just really hard. They try to tell you, hey, you're going to pass out 2 a day, and you're gonna be rich. Or the first one I heard was just get 2 a month. If you get 2 a month, after 2 years, 2 to 5 years, you're going to be rich. Well, okay, first of all, if you focus on 2 a month, you're not going to get 2 a month, because you got to actually shoot for higher goals, perhaps, than you're going to reach. I'm sure everybody's heard the phrase, you shoot for the stars, or you shoot for the stars, you might reach the moon, right? You shoot for the moon, you end up dragging your feet on the ground. So, I mean, if you're shooting for, like 2 a month, you're shooting for broke. That's what you're shooting for. And, quite frankly, that's just not going to work. And so, yeah, no, I mean, multiple recruiting tactics that were just awful. I mean, everybody's heard the stories about how, David wandered around Walmart and went door to door. Well, I was the person going to door with him, wander around in Walmart. I thought wandering around in Walmart sucked, and so I was like, well, I'll try the malls. Tried the malls sucked. And they told you that. Just look for somebody sharp, right? Hey, you walk up to him and you're like, hey, you look like a sharp guy. You keep your options open for income. And I don't know if you've ever done that, Franco, but I mean, I've got about 1 million stories that are hilarious I could tell on it. But I got sick of doing that. And I'm like, this sucks. Why don't I wander around more, somewhere more interesting? Let's go around like to the bars and stuff like that. And so I'd go out to like I was in Tempe, Arizona, or not in Tempe, but right in downtown Phoenix at the time, right over near Tempe. And, a single guy, I'm like, all right, I'm going to hang out by the bar scene. I'm going to go, find some dudes that look sharp, talk to my 5, They say talk to 5, and, you pass out your cards and whatever, you get them. I had this little business card that said Aki Wood, the ambassador of bling, had a little surfer in the corner and my phone number on it. No website or anything, because we weren't really online at the time, still doing like product pickup out of our house. You might be able to guess what business that was. And so we're out there, Yeah. Hey, I got mad respect for the Amway business. I'll just say it. They're really a great company. I mean, some of the best training I've ever learned in the industry came from them. Not on how to recruit, I'll tell you that. And that's no fault of Amway, just kind of the information that I was getting. And so, wandering around, I'd talk to a few people, and then I'd go have a couple of drinks at the bar, and then I'd go home. I'd try to hit on girls for a little while and go home. And if they said no, I'm like, well, you keep your options open for money. I'm just trying to talk to and hustle whoever I could. And so, that didn't work out. And so I had this grand idea. I'm like, maybe if I got like this army of strippers, this army of hot strippers out promoting my business, hot guys will do whatever hot girls say. So I was like, I'll go give out my business cards in strip clubs. And so I'd go out to the strip clubs, with my stupid little business cards, trying to promote the business. And how flirty girls are at strip clubs. Maybe you guys don't. Maybe you've never been.
Absolutely.
And just to be clear, you don't have to go to strip clubs to make money on the internet. I don't very often anymore. I'm married. This is back in my single days. Let's just be real here. We can be authentic. And so, I went in there, and I would actually. I'd go in there, and you go up to a girl in a strip club, and you're like, you're a beautiful girl. You keep your options open for making money aside from taking your clothes off? What are they going to say? Obviously, they're going to say yes. Number one, they want a tip. Number two, they're going to take your card every time. Did I ever recruit any? No. Okay. But, I mean, we did recruit some people. We brought some people in, but we never got rich. We spent a lot of money, never made a lot of money, and it was a nightmare. Selling the dream, living the nightmare. So I'll stop there for a minute. Three-way calls could get me going for a while, too, but I'll cut it off at that and see if you got any feedback, anything else to add for a minute there.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. Thanks for that. I remember about the walking up to people in gas stations, and asking them, sharp project, hey, you look pretty sharp. I can't even do it now because I could never do it then. I was still so introverted that I would start to approach somebody, and I would, like a nerd, I would just have to turn around, come back to the pump, finish my little $3 pump, and then get out of there. And I would say, well, the sun's not right here, the angle of the light. I gotta go across the street to the next gas station. It was the wrong gas station. So I don't know, man. That never ever worked for me. Kevin, what kind of? I know you're traditional network marketing guys, and we want to be very honest too. Like Aki said, do these traditional tactics work? Well, yes, there's multiple billion-dollar corporations out there, and they're still growing based on these tactics. So we're not saying that. The beautiful thing that we're saying is that we found something that's so much more leveraged, and that misfits and outcasts and throwaways like me and other guys on my team are having so much more success using systems leverage and smarter technology, where right now is a home milk and cookie party. And I've got my coffee here, I've got my little bread. We've got thousands of people watching this thing. We're going to have hundreds and hundreds every single day watching it. So it's a meeting that's going to do your work for you 24/7. Kevin, I know you come from traditional networking background too. I mean, you've got to have you've got stories, man. You got stories for days, man. What can you tell us about some of the things that you've tried in the past too?
Well, can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, great. 35 years ago, I signed up for Amway 2 when I was 19. It took me 10 years to get the courage to ask somebody if they want to take a look at a way to earn some income, because my first 2 home meetings, I had 40 people at one and 40 people at another, and nobody joined. And I learned all those tactics, too, of walking up and down malls and saying, hi, hello, hi, and getting the confidence to say hi to total strangers, and then eventually conversations. I'll tell you what, though, it gave me strength, because we could sit here and kid about it all day long, but there are some really good positive aspects to the traditional marketing. But for lack of singing a song, this is the dawning of the age of the internet. Age of the internet. Okay? This is the internet, folks. All right? And boy, things have changed. Now, when I did it first in 2005 was I said, ooh, the internet, right? So I started to take what I learned in traditional networking and started to apply it with the internet. Now, that was good because it was a transition, but I fell flat on my face. And the reason for that was because I didn't know how to do home meetings on the internet. So I had to figure out how to do conference calls on the telephone. Ooh, step one, kind of a transition. Then I had to figure out how to do webinars. And for 6 years, I did 4 webinars a week and was able to build something until 2008 where I was able to leave my job. And so for 5 years, I've been working from my screen, my little ATM machine. And then when I found Empower Network, oh my word. I had closed my mind to other opportunities until Empower came on. And when Empower came aboard, I had already learned blogging. I took like a $2,000 course a few years ago on how to blog. And it helps because, any kind of education with respect to blogging helps. But with respect to old school, what I was doing was I was picking up the phone. Hi, Mr. Jones. My name is Kevin Souza, and I got information that said you're looking for ways to earn income. Would you like to talk about it? Blah, 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 blah. Wasted days and wasted nights. Okay? I was wasting my time. I mean, totally wasting my time and didn't realize it. Hey, I was good on the phone, man. I did that for a living for years. So I thought, let me get on the phone. Guess what, dummy? I was talking to myself at that time. By the way, I don't think I'm a dummy anymore. But when you pick up the phone, you start calling people. Guess what you're sending? Guess what message you're sending out to those people? That you need to call people too. Wrong. Let's start over, folks. The internet and the systems that we teach with our prosperity team, with the Empower Network, is beyond description. If you're on the fence about earning income online, knock it off. Click the button below, register now for 25 bucks. Come back to this hangout and listen closely to the leaders that are on this panel, because the old school way of building income on the internet is over, and you have reached a new dawn. So with that said, if you want me to talk a little later, happy to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Kevin. You know, one of the things that brought up is looking at our panel right now. On the left side of our panel, right, 1, 2, 3, we got Aki, myself, and Kevin, traditional networking guys that were brought on to learn, you know, old dogs learning new tricks, right? And then on the right side of our panel, we even got the SEO Jesus in the house today. I mean, we got the young kids. They're full of ambition, their drive. They don't know what they can't do, which is beautiful, because all they know is that they can do anything they freaking want to do, right? And they've come of age on the internet, and then we've merged this whole thing together. One of the things that came out today too is so powerful. If you look at the founders of Empower Network, right? You look at David Wood and David Sharp, traditional MLM, traditional network marketers, traditional strength, fortitude, vision. They could speak increase into people. These are some of the lost arts, I think, of the home business industry that internet marketing is just starting because of Empower Network. They're just starting to hear that song again, and a lot of people haven't even heard it in that way. And I think that's why it was so hypnotic and so many people just gravitate to it, because it doesn't matter how old you are. When somebody speaks increase into your heart, it makes you think that you're better, that you feel better about yourself after having a conversation with David Wood or hearing an audio or watching our video. And that was the powerful thing that we learned, right, in traditional networking. And the only thing that I never knew how to do is I then came on the internet, and the first thing in my mind was, you know what, with this internet, I'm introverted, I don't speak well, but if you give me time, I can put down thought, and I can take from audios and conference calls and information that I'm soaking up at live events, and I can write and inject that into an email or onto a website, and I can do that. I can still get that message into the heart and soul and mind of another person. And the internet, I lost sleep for months when the internet started creeping into my life back around 1999, 2000. We had no tools. We had no big advertising spots because there was nothing there really. So we brought a lot of traditional skill sets, and we brought them in where we would get leads, and we would then email people and get them on a conference call, because that's what we were still doing. Later on, all of a sudden, you started to see little mini sites, little sites with your face on them, your family on vacation, a little bit of your story, and hey, by the way, if you want to build a home business, click here, attend our next conference call. Well, we had to do that from scratch every single time, and there's a certain process. There's what I like to call a mechanics of wealth on how you set stuff up that I learned, but you had to piece it all together. You had to learn affiliate marketing and know how a little price point or free offer would get people onto a list. Then how do I get those people to do a repeat sale, sale number 2, sale number 3, on up the line. If you want residual income, you have to find a membership program where they pay monthly and you get paid. And it was always little teeny weeny wussy commissions, 10, 15, 20%. Maybe in the last few years you can find something where it's 50%, and if you're a real proven documented rock star, they'll bump you up a little bit more, but it's far and few between. But you had to reinvent all of that wheel, and I was seeing that even if I can take some years to understand it and start putting it together, I still had to learn what Robert Mercado can do and what Troy can do with SEO and drive traffic on the internet. So that was a whole other monster, a whole other skill set. And so it was a mess. It was just a convoluted information overload, overwhelming mess. And then I hear a traditional network marketer, master of delivering story, adding increase to people, and creating systems and paying you 100% commission, and it was one system with every little thing that we needed to make a full-time income really come to fruition, and that was with Empower Network, with what David and David created. It was unbelievable to me because I knew the pain of having to piece all that stuff together. Then this thing falls apart, your big ticket falls apart, so now you just got a $10 ebook that you're building a list with. And so this just made it one seamless system. And what we're going to talk about today is, guys, is it not true that we're almost making it seem easy how we can engineer $1,000 days? I think I messed around and had a $4,000 day today. I have to confirm that. I haven't seen my emails and stuff, but what we used to have to do to even make a $100 commission in this whole game. Empower Network, we're seeing on Facebook, hey, $1,000 day, congratulations, $1,000 over here, $500 over here, $3,000 over here, and we're not hearing those stories coming from somebody in the game 5 to 7 years who's built a 5,000 member army in their downline that's making that finally. We're talking about one sale, one day from a repeat customer, $1,000 day. So let's talk a little bit now with New Jack City on the right-hand side, all these gods of internet lore, and they're hanging their hat with Empower Network too. Big clue, click the button, just get rolling. Because when the SEO Jesus and Robert Mercado, who does $20,000 info product launches with Mark Overson and some other industry mega greats, when all of Nat Green is on there every day with mega skill, just turning this stuff on, these are people, guys, I'm just being honest. These are people that can hang their hat anywhere and get paid. They've been getting paid, but they're here with Empower Network. Big clue. So as you click on the button, relax, go through the process. It'll open up on a different tab. Join us. Get ready to go to class here in about an hour and a half at the 15K formula. Upgrade there, no big deal. 100% commission means with one sale, you get your investment back with one sale. But on that note, let me bring out Robert Mercado, man. This guy, I heard of him in a prior project. We were all in prior projects. We've only been here at Empower for 12, 13 months total. But I heard of Robert, and this was like somebody that clear out of the blue came into this industry, and it's like he brought his own theme music, his own band. Remember that movie, the Funkadelic movie, where the guy walked around with his own funk band playing behind him? He brought his own theme music, wearing platforms. This guy came into the room with his own thunder. And in 6 months, we were hearing stories of 40 grand, 20 grand, launches, info products. And then I thought, this guy for sure has been in the game for a long time. And they said, no, 6 months means 6 months ago he was delivering food out of some diner. This kid is brand new. So Robert, man, let's transition now into showing all of the people in our Hangout today really the mechanics of how to get positioned to create $1,000 day. How have you been able to do it? Share with us a couple of your stories, and we're all ears, man.
Cool. Franco, you hear me okay? Is it loud and clear? Cool, man. I just wanted to first thank you, Franco, because you're an inspiration to everyone, and and everyone on the panel here as well, everyone watching the Hangout. A lot of people, don't know this, but I actually brought all the diner customers that I had to the internet. No, I'm only kidding. But
that's the secret.
That's the secret. Bringing my own music and band. It was really all the customers from the diner. But truth be told, a lot of people don't know this about me, but I was actually in the traditional marketing before. I was with, and I'm not going to say names of companies, but something that rhymes with Rhymerica. You could get the point. I was with a company that actually sold financial services. So a lot of people see the success that I've been having on the internet. And yes, I'm new to the internet, but it all comes down to reading daily, listening to audio, being around the right people. I've had coaches before that, were wealthy. And when I say wealthy, I don't mean just made $1 million a year, because wealth is more than just money. Wealth is having a good family life, good income, good spiritual life, having good relationships. You could have a ton of money and then your family life stinks. That's not wealth. And then you can have a great family life and then you're broke. That's not wealth either. So I surrounded myself with the right people. I did the whole hotel meetings and all of that stuff, and that certainly wasn't fun. Parts where I would stand up and speak and try to get people into the company. You do 10 times the amount of work and you get maybe 2 times the amount of results from it, or even less. Where here, you join a program called Empower Network, you give it the 2 times work, and you get 10 times back. And you can't find that in too many places where look, there's a difference between a good grind and a bad grind. A lot of people think grinding is bad, and it's not only bad. You can work your tail off and get paid a direct reflection to what you're doing. Or you can work the job that you're at right now where you work 10 times harder than that guy or gal next to you, and you think the boss is going to pay you 10 times more? Heck no. So what happens is you got the good grind. You're working in something that's good, that's paying you what you're worth and reimbursing you, and replenishing your bank account and giving you value. And then you got the bad grind where you're doing all that stuff like Franco. He's been in the industry for a while. He had all of that heart. He had all of that fight and energy and wanted to provide people value. But you know what? It wasn't the right vehicle. So now we all freaking came on board. And I'm new to the industry, but I applied what I learned in my past life. I applied the relationships I built. I applied, speaking to the right people and putting the right stuff in my head. See, we could jump on a hangout and just talk right off the limb. Why? Because it's just a natural thing. It's subconscious. So one thing you want to be is around the right people. That's certainly important. You want to protect your inner circle. We speak about the inner circle and Empower Network, and that's important. If you don't have that, upgrade right now as you hear my voice. Because in that inner circle, you have audios from all different types of leaders, not leaders that aren't doing anything, not leaders that are just talking these lies and not performing. These are leaders that are actually telling you what works, not preaching go to 10,000 home meetings, not preaching go to 5,000 parties, not preaching make conference calls every week and expect $1 million. And like Franco said earlier, or Aki mentioned earlier, bring two who bring two and bring two and you're a millionaire. They're not preaching that. They're telling you, do this type of marketing. Try this resource. It works for me. This is the results it brought for me. These are things that they went through. They tried themselves. They dropped in some of the holes on the way there, but they said, you know what, avoid those holes now and let me show you the way there to make your job a lot easier. So for $100 a month and be able to earn $100 commissions is a joke. That's residual income. That's exactly what we're going to use so we don't have to be on this damn internet all day, every day for the rest of our lives. On the internet, folks, is a vehicle like Franco said, or actually Kevin mentioned, we're on the internet. And even though I can't sing as well as he does, I'm giving you guys the same message. We're using this vehicle so we're not busting our ass all day, every day. We're doing it so that we can uplift people. There's people that actually still today ask me, hey, Rob, can you call me? I have a few questions. And Aki and I were talking on this on the other hangout yesterday, but I'm like, heck no. Why? Because I'm teaching you, and Kevin mentioned this, what I don't want you to do. See, that's a lot of things that these traditional marketing companies taught us, and I had experience in that too. I don't mention it. Why? Because it doesn't work. That's why you never knew I was in traditional marketing. It doesn't matter. I rather preach and tell you guys what works, but I do have some experience in that. And you know what? You want to only mention what works, and that's what you get in the inner circle. That's what you get in 15K formula. If you're not in the 15K formula, upgrade right away. Like Franco said, open up a new tab, go to your programs, just click on 15K. Don't think about, I don't have the money for this, I don't have the money for that. All of that is what's keeping you where you are right now. So you need to make a decision that's going to change whatever you have going on. If you don't change, if you don't make that decision, then you can't expect anything more to come. So hang around the right people, learn from the right people, and just doing that subconsciously, you're going to succeed. See, you put a winner in a winning environment, they're going to go win. I'll tell you the truth. With Empower Network, you could put people who have never had success in their life into this environment and they're going to go win. You don't have to be a winner before. You don't have to have the experience or a list. I didn't have any of that. So you can be anyone just getting started, haven't even heard of this Empower Network thing, and you click the button below, you get started, you'll see in time you're going to have success. We have people who are deaf in the company who are making money. We have people who are blind in the company, can't even see, who are making money. We have people who can't get out of their chair, and God bless her, because she's a winner, and she's making a 5-figure monthly income. Where else can you go to do that? Nowhere. And that's the answer. And that's why Franco mentioned all of us from different backgrounds, all walks of life have come together. Empower Network's a movement, guys. So it's either we're gonna go to the top. We're gonna go there with you or without you, but we'd rather it be with you. So click the button below, get started. If you're not already in, make a decision, change your life for you and your family. And I heard this from David before, if you don't join, you hate your family. And you know what? That was a little strong at first to hear myself, because I was like, shit, I don't hate my family. I love my family. So don't only do it for yourself, because Once you stand up, and Aki knows this as well, once you stand up, other people are going to stand up right behind you. And if you don't make that decision to stand up, you're doing a disservice for other people. So make that decision. If you're already in, upgrade to the 15K, because after this badass hangout, see, we're here to just warm up for the webinar tonight, right, guys?
Yep.
The webinar is always, right, Franco, you know this. The webinar is freaking worth $1,000, $10,000 each of them. So if you don't have the 15K formula, you're costing yourself more money every week that goes by that you don't have it, besides the commissions, but the value you're going to learn in there. Guys, appreciate you, love you. I'll come out later if you want, Franco, but I'll leave it at that. Don't hate your family. Love your family. Click below.
Franco, you mind if I jump in real quick for a second? That just got me excited. I'm over here laughing, not because I'm laughing with you, Robert, because you're awesome. Okay, I actually haven't seen you sell before. I'm sitting here. I want to buy the products again. Just listen to you. I'm like, where do I sign up right now? I mean, that was incredible. Before I was wondering, I actually questioned. I had the same question Franco did. 6 months on the internet. Where's this guy coming from? How's he getting those results? Boy, you can sell. That's some good stuff right there, but everything you said was true,
My own credit card just levitated, actually.
Exactly. It just left your pocket. Sometimes credit cards just float out. You know, if you're watching this, you know, you might want to, like, put your hand on your credit card, keep it warm in your pocket. It might come out sometime during the course of the conversation. It might not. You know, it might not. Maybe you don't want to drive fast cars. Maybe you don't want to make more money. You know, then that might not be the right program for you. But if that's what you want, you want to make those $1,000 days, you need to have the 15K formula, because that's how you're going to get it the easiest way. But with something you were mentioning, I mean, you were just kind of hammering in the inner circle and how just that's incredible. And I don't think most people actually realize the power of the inner circle. I was in Costa Rica for the Masters retreat when they built the Masters course, hanging out by the bar. Troy was there with me. He knows. He saw me by the bar several times, and kicking back, taking a few shots of tequila. Well, I was talking to one of the guys, you know, at the conference, and just kind of happened to flip on my flip cam, and I turned over to him and I was like, hey, you know, what made you come out here? What was your decision to come out here to the, you know, this event here in Costa Rica? And the guy's name was Scott Warner. Some of you know who Scott Warner is. Some of you might not. But Scott Warner turned to me. He started talking. He's like, yeah, you know, I've never really had a vacation. I just decided to come out here and blah, blah, blah. And, well, Scott, like, and, you know, it just kind of glazed over something while we were talking there that was just so incredibly powerful. He's like, yeah, and, you know, the inner circle saved my life. And I was like, wait a minute, what? And he goes, yeah, no, actually, the inner circle saved my life. And I was like, he's like, yeah, I was like, well, explain that to me. And he says, well, I was driving home. I was actually going to kill myself. I had the supplies in my car to do it. And I got stuck in traffic because there was a bunch of mud in the intersection. And so I happened to have an inner circle with me in my car. I popped it into the DVD player, the CD player, started playing it, and it was an audio by David Sharp. And David Sharp said something powerful, and I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was something along the lines of, you know, you're greater than you know that you are, and you've got a greater purpose in this life. And it just hit him. And all of a sudden, he, you know, basically felt empowered and felt ready to go. And I get chills when I talk about this, just powerful stuff. And he decided not to kill himself. Not only decided not to kill himself, but decided to go to Costa Rica. He went to Costa Rica. He shared that story in front of the room, which he was nervous to do, but empowered the entire room. And then when he got done sharing the story, he said, he's like, you know what, I had a breakthrough when I was up there. I was afraid. My hands were sweating. You know, I was just afraid to get up there. But now I want to speak in front of a room of 60,000 people and share my story because I know that I can inspire people. Guys, our products aren't just there to make money. Yeah, we talk about the money. We can make $1,000 days, you know. You can make $3,000 days if you got the master's course, you know, which it goes over information which is nowhere else on the internet, nowhere else being taught, period, about a lot of things. But it's more than that. It's interchange that they can happen. Listening to those inner circle audios daily, following that commitment and the 8 core commitments will change you. It'll change you into a better person. It'll inspire you and make you better. And that is just awesome. You know, we're not just about helping you make money, but we're helping you become the best you that you can be. And I think that's one of the powerful things about that product. And I think it's just incredible stuff. So all I had for the moment. So.
Yeah, no, I think that's one of the most powerful things that people kind of miss out there, because the internet tends to rely on a lot of sexy sizzle, right? We sell a lot of sizzle, and everyone talks about the success and what's happening, but really what we've been finding out as we come together as professionals here as one family at Empower Network at our live events and meet each other is now we've got a lot of parallel purposes that are far beyond cash flow, far beyond just money. It's what we can do collectively and individually with the earnings, right? But man, we weren't able to do that before, right? Because we never had a mechanism that created it. We always had to be starting over or doing this or jump into the next shiny object or going all over the place. I see people like that all over the internet, guys. They're so scattered. They've got a dream. They're starting to not believe in it. They're starting to forget it, because they're in the grind, in the bad grind, like Robert was talking about. They're in a bad grind, needing to reinvent, funnels and reinvent a business and start over all the time, or they get going, they get a wind under their sail, and all of a sudden the company pulls the rug out from under them. They got to go start over. What Empower Network really gives us is, guys, we start at a $25 price point. So if you haven't even got started with us, there is no conversation about just get on the inside with us for $25 and your $19 affiliate fee and check us out from the inside. But what Aki's talking about is this whole mechanism is set up so that when people come in, the very first thing we let them know is, look, what's your goal? What's your dream? And why are you here? Why are you here, and how bad do you want what you say you want? And do you want to make it hard, or do you want to make it simple? Because we've been in both worlds. We're in the simple world now, and it's working, because it's just so smooth. And when they identify their why they're here, what's their goal, and how bad they want it, then we just plug them in to a culture, a mastermind environment that's empowering. I tell you what, guys, I go to sleep and I wake up every single day, and it's ingrained discipline now. And I've got my little Beats headset on, right? And I've got my phone, and all of the inner circle calls are right here. A lot of people ask me, well, you guys are doing the blog thing or whatever, but what am I going to blog about? I don't know what to blog about. Guys, I put in an inner circle audio every night, and it's like my self-hypnosis for success. You got to brainwash yourself for success sometimes. I've been doing it all my life. You got to redo it and redo it. Why? Because CNN doesn't stop poisoning, and Fox News and everything else, society and everything out there doesn't stop. So we don't stop our inner circle either. I put this in my head, and all of a sudden I've got video ideas. I've got Facebook ideas. I've got blogging ideas, emailing ideas, and I know the next call is coming up. So I'm inviting all my buddies to the next call, and David Wood and David Sharp, let them know what the value is about setting themselves up to have a $1,000 day. Because a lot of people have never, they don't even believe it's real, guys, that they can have a $1,000 day. And here in Empower Network, you know what you have to do to do that? All you got to do is be positioned to earn it. People are going to want it. I had a guy, the guy that came in today, he posted all over Facebook, there's somebody in the world today that decided to quit on themselves a few months ago. And he's got to be just, I don't know what his stomach is feeling like right now, because his guy upgraded all in today, a guy that he brought in. But he didn't think anyone would come in for more than $25, so he never positioned himself at more than $25, and then he gave up on his dream or did something and just bailed out to do other projects. No big deal, right? But his guy fell in love with who we are. Empower Network, the leadership, the community. He was on the calls. He was on the calls, and then he was on so many of the live Monday calls, he had to have the whole collection of inner circle calls. So now we put him on those calls every day. Every time he would talk to me on Facebook, I would just say, dude, which audio are you on today? All right, great. Well, the webinar's coming up. The hangout is coming up. Just invite everyone. Just keep going. Just keep going. And all of a sudden, he's got some sales coming in, and he's on those calls. And he finally said, you know what, Franco, my tax return came in. I'm all in. I just want to announce to the world that I'm in the all-in club. Now, He's happy. I'm thrilled. The team is totally motivated. But how's the guy that brought him in that quit feeling? Because he's on Facebook too. So that's the thing. That's the whole world, right? Life will throw you life rafts Life will throw you a freaking rope. Life will send a helicopter to come pick you up and you're drowning in the ocean. But if you keep saying, no, that's not for me, no, if you don't set yourself up to receive, if you don't position yourself to receive that increase, it's going to pass you by, right? So when that happens, and that happened today, you know, there's one very happy person. He's set up now to have a $3,000 day. Why? Because he's got skin in the game, he's got knowledge, he's plugged into a team and knows exactly what actions to keep taking on a daily basis, and he's got teammates that are already waiting for their tax return or their next check or their next thing, and they're pumped up because now their leader stepped up, positioned himself, so now they want to follow suit. And it's just human nature, and that's what's going to happen. And when you're positioned to do that, you don't have to build a downline, right? Right now, you don't have to build a downline for years and years and years and hope to one day have a $3,000 month. One person can decide that they want that knowledge, they want that product. They step up, they click on a button because they're on a hangout like this with us. It's not even you that has to do it. We do. We're working. Everyone collectively is working. They see enough social proof, and bam, they hit that button. $3,000 commission comes straight to you with one sale, one person. And that's a beautiful thing, man, because now my buddy can have a $1,000 day, a $500 day on one sale, a $3,000 day, and our other products, the 25 and the 100, those are monthly residual stuff. So the business that he created 3-6 months ago, it's still paying him today, and it's growing and growing and growing. So you have residual income, you have direct income, and you have passive income, like what I got today. I didn't generate that sale. Guy just stepped up from somebody else that introduced him on my team, and I get paid. You know, so how beautiful is that, though? Talk a little bit about that, Nat. I know you've experienced some awesome stories here too with that, man, and you were grinding and working on wussy little weenie commissions. Talk about the difference of having to work your butt off to make $100 a month in this industry, and then all of a sudden having a $1,000 day, man. How good does that feel? Oh, you're muted out, bud. You might want to unmute yourself.
Okay, here we go. How's that?
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Okay, cool. Yeah, no, it's phenomenal. Obviously, you know, the $1,000 commissions, the 3,000. I mean, my first one, it was just like, you know, a ray from God up above. It was awesome. And it's funny, you'd kind of touched on it earlier, where, you know, like obviously a lot of us are friends on Facebook, and you know, all these people that we met at the last event and stuff. And so, I mean, I don't know, I've got probably maybe 100 or 200 friends just from Empower people, and it's like every single day I see people posting, I made $1,000, I made my first $500, I made 3,000, and it's like nonstop, like every time that I refresh my page almost, it seems. And it's funny because, I mean, I almost want to smack some of my close personal friends up the head. It's just like, you guys, if you only knew what I was seeing and experiencing myself, you know, all around me. It's just like, and it's funny, you know, so many people that I talk to, and I know a lot of people are seeing what I'm posting on Facebook and stuff, and that's where I've had most of my success and so far with Empower, which is funny because I know a lot of technical stuff, but it's the simple stuff that I've been doing that's bringing in the success. And I mean, I've mentioned this on other calls before, but you know, a lot of times it's just the right timing for that person to see your message. And for example, there's a guy who joined me and he went all in, but yeah, he saw one of my posts, and it was funny. He basically was eating breakfast at Denny's or a Halp or something with his buddy, and his buddy showed him his astrology report or whatever it's called, and it said something along the lines of a long lost acquaintance will, you know, put you in touch with an incredible opportunity, something along those lines. He said 2 seconds later, he checked his phone, he checked Facebook, saw my post about how I made $1,000 or whatever it was, something that inspired him. And so he called me up and he was like, man, I had the worst day in my life yesterday. And I mean, he makes a lot of money. He's a commercial fisherman, makes like $120,000 or whatever. But his wife at this point was like 7.5 months pregnant. They have a daughter together from a previous, or sorry, she has a daughter from a previous relationship. They have 2 dogs, and he goes away fishing for, you know, 3 months at a time or whatever. So it's not about the money. It's about the lifestyle that he wants. And his wife is basically saying, you know, I'm alone in this relationship. I've got, you know, 1 kid now, 1 on the way, 2 dogs. I just can't do it. And so he called me and he's just like, man, yesterday was the worst day in my life, but now I see, hope. And he called me and he was so fired up. And even like 2 days later after that, he was just like, man, I just feel so good about things, and there is a light at the end of the tunnel. So it's interesting to see a different side of the story, because so much it's the people who don't have the money and they need to do this. And that's one more reason why you need to do it, is because you can't afford the $125 or whatever, right?
Exactly.
But it's interesting to see that it's not all about the money. It's about the freedom that this opportunity presents itself. And I've really realized, and I think one of my biggest breakthroughs in Austin was that it's not about the money, and it's not about me, and in fact, it's not about any one of us on the panel. And I'd say I hate to break it to you guys, but all of you guys already know that anyway, right? It's so much bigger than all of that, and this really is something that can save humanity. You know what I mean? Like, there's no reason for struggling anymore. And I kind of say this jokingly when I'm with my girlfriend and we see, a group of homeless people or whatever, but it's like, man, don't they know about Empower? Just take enough cans back, do whatever it takes, and just, get started at the 25 if that's all you can do. But the thing is with this, I honestly believe, and I'm sure, everyone on the panel will agree with this, you cannot fail with Empower Network if you just decide right now that you're not going to stop. You're not going to quit on yourself and your family and your dreams. There's no reason for it. Yeah, it might take a little bit longer, right? You might not have the success that Robert did in the 6 months and making, the 120K or whatever your numbers were, Robert. But just keep plugging away. You can do it. You absolutely can do it, and you don't need to know all the SEO stuff that Troy knows. You don't need to know all this crazy technical shit. You can just post on Facebook, which is what I've done for the most part, right? And the thing is, a lot of people say, okay, well, yeah, Nat, but I don't have any results to post or whatever. Well, then leverage other people. Use the other results of people on this panel. Use Robert's results until you get yours. I think my first ones was like, I made $100. I was out walking my dog. I walk my dog every morning, of course, listen to the Inner Circles. I made $100. And people are like, oh, how did you do that, Nat? How did you do that? And of course, slowly all this curiosity starts to build up. And it's funny. And actually, I've got a new team member that joined me about like half an hour before this. And I think he's on the call and he's going to rock it out, I know. But it's interesting. Actually, we haven't even talked about any of this stuff. I haven't talked to him at all about Empower. He just, I'm sure, has saw some stuff that I've been posting about, and then he signed up or whatever, right? So, and the thing that's interesting is I have people now that are commenting, they're asking me questions in private messages and stuff, but they're referencing things I said like 3 weeks ago, right? And it's, so I've got, 30 people or however many are that are messaging. So it's like, okay, well, if I know that there's 30 people out there that actually, have got the guts to ask me what's up, well, there's 60 more waiting in the wings, just waiting for that next post where I made another $1,000 or another $3,000 commission or whatever, or just some of the thought-provoking, videos I create, which most of them are all from concepts that are being talked about in the Inner Circle or from Tony Rush's emails or whatever, So. Yeah, there's no reason to not succeed, and I just want people to know that this is real. It's not some scam, And I say that this is really funny. And this will be the last thing I say. Is so many people have said like, oh, well, it sounds too good to be true, and my response is, would you prefer something that's mediocre enough to be believable? Which one of those two things is going to work for you? I would way rather take the chance on something that sounds too good to be true and crush it. So
yeah. No, absolutely, man. That's funny. Every time I hear someone say that, it's like, this sounds too good to be true. That's why it's cool, right? Come check it out. Is that a good enough reason for you not to check it out, based on what you were just telling me about where you want to go and where you're stuck in life? So. Yeah, everything out there is a reason to check it out. We're too much of a big army right now. There's way too many people from all walks of life, young, old, big, small, whatever, experience, no experience, that can get a simple message out there. At the end of the day, I mean, we're all asking whether we're doing it. I'll go over to Troy right now because really, really interesting his path here. With talk about someone that's technical, you know, SEO Jesus, man. He just snaps his finger and traffic just appears and he dominates everything on Google. So why does a guy like that, with all of those skills, knows how to drive traffic to any offer on the planet that he wants to? He can focus and drive traffic there because that's what he knows how to do, right? So Troy, man, Troy Shanks out in San Diego, California, the SEO Jesus. Give us a little bit of knowledge on, you know, there's a lot of people that come to these hangouts. Some people have a little bit of money. Some people, you know, come from real estate or positions of where money's not the issue, but they're looking for time freedom because they're owned and they're enslaved by the mechanism that they use to make money in their life. And then there's other guys that are very technical. They're driving traffic. They're affiliate marketers. They're creating their own coaching programs. They have their own info products. Talk to us a little bit about that world and how you've positioned yourself here to make $1,000 days, $3,000 days without having to do a whole lot or take on a lot of the risk of the internet marketing professional, so to speak. Guys, Troy is an SEO master. That means search engine optimization. This guy knows how to pick the pocket of Google and take its traffic anywhere he wants it to go. And you know, it's pretty awesome that we have people from all over the place. So he's going to share a little bit of his insights too.
Yeah, happy to be here, fellas, with all you guys, all you experts, and just connecting with you guys and everybody out there who's listening. You know, just to kind of jump into the SEO thing, just to kind of preface everything, you know, for every keyword that I've tried to go after, I probably fail for every 2 or 3 that I tried to go for. So it's, you know, it's always a trial and error. You know, you got to learn in the ins and outs and the ups and downs of what works and what doesn't. And as we all know, that algorithm is changing almost monthly now. So there is no golden secret other than being consistent and persistent in what you're doing. And ultimately, you're always trying to provide value. So if you're providing value with your blog or you're providing value with the links that you're building to your blog, that's the #1 key. But for me, just to kind of go back and backtrack, I actually, when you guys were talking a little bit earlier about pounding the phones, I didn't really get started pounding the phones, but I jumped online as soon as I went to my first hotel meeting. I was like, okay, I'm never going to do another hotel meeting, but I'm going to go figure out how to, you know, really work online. And I just kind of taught myself HTML, and I taught myself how to rank, because it was one of those things where I would get people, I was actually an instant messenger marker when I first got started. I would go to forums and try to add people to instant messenger and just like talk to them in my business. And that obviously was, you know, I think I was developing carpal tunnel at about 23 years old. But so I quickly left that method behind real fast. And so what I did was I started to build websites, but then I said, okay, how do I get people to it? And when I got people to it, I was still on the phone for like 45 minutes with these people, and they would be like, I don't feel like doing that. So I was just like, that's a complete waste of my time. How do I really get it so I can get, or like, how do I start building a funnel where people just start joining because they actually want to join it without me, you know, trying to push them over the edge or use some NLP persuasion tactics, you know, I didn't even know those existed back then for that matter. But for me, it was, how do I start positioning myself? You know, we're positioning ourselves in the company, we're positioning ourselves in our marketing in front of our audience that we don't even know is out there yet. And for me, it was learning how to do SEO, because I knew that if someone's Googling something, they obviously have an invested interest in it beforehand. And so now I'm going to provide what they want. And that's really the science behind SEO, is providing sincere value to a customer, because, you know, every single thing Google does is free. And they do that in exchange for information. They do that in exchange for quality information. So if you're the one providing that quality information, you're obviously going to rank much faster, much higher on every keyword that you're going for. And even if you don't go for it, like, just to give you guys an example, there's a lot of low-hanging fruit, and I've kind of shared this a few times. I shared this in the mastermind in Austin. They say 1 in every 4, and that's probably not exactly, but it's up there. 1 in every 4, 1 in every 5 Google searches, or their search queries that people actually type, are 100% unique. And what I mean by that is you don't have to go after the big money keywords, especially if you're on a limited budget. And that's what Empower Network, that's what attracted to me to the most from my position where I was before Empower Network, was I started an MLM, and then I was looking for products to promote more than like getting people to join me. I just wanted to sell products, and live my college life, so to speak. So I was looking for quality products to promote, and that was okay, but it wasn't really, you know, I could never demand the traffic. So the traffic was always, it always mattered on someone else's marketing, on someone else's dime. It can never, you know, it was more of a natural, organic process versus being able to learn how to market, which is what Empower Network does. But then the beautiful thing about Empower Network from my standpoint is the blogging side of things, because what I do to market is set up blogs and market them for, you know, that specific niche or that specific keyword or product, whatever opportunity, whatever it is. But I can never obviously do that for other people because I couldn't be at the same place at the same time, or I couldn't set up all of their websites and still have all of mine. And Empower Network has really came through and simplified that entire process. So like the first time in 7 years that I've been doing full-time internet marketing, I feel comfortable bringing people into an environment that's not only going to teach them how to market, but it's going to set up everything as like a plug-and-play, point-and-click system where, you know, just like I had a guy today, you know, he actually had the YouTube URL as the title of the post, you know what I mean? So, but that being said, if for example, if that was you out there who didn't even know, you know, that you put keywords in the title, which is fine. The point is most people wouldn't even be able to get to that point without a blog already done for them that they just had to simply pay $25 for. They would just be learning how, like, what's a domain, and oh, I have to have hosting, and oh, I have to set up WordPress, and oh, I got to do this and that and set up everything else, where this is just done for you, where I was able to just literally in 5 seconds go, no, listen, you need keywords in here, put the URL in the actual body of the content so it pulls up the video. Excuse me. Sorry about that. I need some water. But anyway, so with Empower Network, it's really just came through. And for me, from an SEO standpoint, I mean, you look at a lot of the internet marketing launches and products and opportunities out there, like EmpowerNetwork.com is on every single first page for almost every single one of those keywords. It's almost miraculous to see. And just from my viewpoint and perspective on SEO, it's incredible to see that many people. Really, the #1 publishing content platform on the internet is Empower Network. It's not the Kindle. It's not you know, the other large publishing platforms. Like Empower Network is the single largest publishing website on the internet, and that's saying something, especially for people who are not really, you know, they're not really acquainted with the ins and outs of internet marketing or how to blog. And I just think Empower Network they've done something that is just so universal that everybody can literally use it and just start cashing in on their passions and monetizing their interests. Just like the guy today, he's like, well, what do I blog about? I was like, well, whatever you're an expert at, whatever, you know, rolls off your tongue without having to do a ton of research, without having to spend a ton of time crafting the perfect post. Just write about stuff that you know and get your stuff out there. Start crafting your why and knowing why you're doing what you're doing. And lo and behold, I mean, he's got multiple blog posts within the first week, and that just says something that when you can get people into a system right away and keep them engaged and get them interactive in a team community just like this, the power's in the numbers. And that's what Empower Network for me has just been the biggest blessing, because like I said, when I got started 7 years ago, after I learned that I didn't want to be on the phone any longer, I kind of left the internet marketing world and just sold products like completely underground. Like I would just set up websites, I would sell that product, I would have my brother ship them out to the post office, and I would just sit back, collect commissions, and just live my life. And so it was kind of an isolated, secluded lifestyle until I got around Empower Network. I started feeling comfortable about the products because I felt like people could actually succeed in this. And so I actually got back into the network marketing or MLM industry, where I had left it for a good 4 or 5 years, when that's initially how I got started. So just, you know, it's the environment that you always have to just always worry about, if you will, and worry is not a great word to use there. The environment is everything, whether it's your internal environment, which is your health, or whether it's your external environment, which is your surroundings and the people you're, you know, interacting with on a daily basis. Empower Network, and that's what I tell people, that I think the biggest thing Empower Network has done outside of the products and the blogging system is the dynamic of the culture and the community, and really what everybody's phrasing as the movement now. I think that is, there's nothing else like it. It really is the new age Amway, if you will, of the internet. And that's saying something, because people are going to be looking for something that they could join, because everybody wants to be bigger than something outside of themselves. And I think that when you can get in alignment with people who are on the same vision and mission in life, and they want to help serve as many people as we can, as all you guys have said, it's just powerful to know that people got your back. And just like Nat was saying, I like, we're doing really well with Empower. We're signing up. I think yesterday we had 8 people. This day we're like 6 new signups, and that's with 0 paid traffic. So but then like some days we'll have 1 or 2, and then I'll log on Facebook, or my partner Melissa or whoever will show me some links, and it's like everybody's making these master's commissions, and it gets me fired back up and gets me back going, because I'm seeing so many people succeeding at all given times of the day, every day of the week. Even if we're not succeeding, someone else is, and that just speaks volumes to what's really going on here. And that's why everybody's phrasing it as a movement now, and that's why I'm here, hanging out with you guys, because the camaraderie is something in my 7 years that I've been missing, so to speak, and I found it, and I just can't wait for the next events. We need to do it every 45 days, I think, now instead of 90, but we'll get there, you know what I mean? So, yeah, that's for me, that's what the Empower Network has become. It's a people business. And then it's a product business, and then it's training, and then it's the how-to. But once you can get around the right people, the how will take care of itself when you know why you're doing what you're doing. So, yeah, it's a good start, I guess.
Man, awesome. that is power from the SEO Jesus. And that is power. In all that, here's what I heard. Here's what I heard. The spirit and the soul of that spoke to me. If you're an internet marketing expert, and what you do, sit behind a computer, and you've got the skills to drive traffic, what he just said is, you'd be insane not to be driving some traffic into Empower Network, man. You would be insane not to be doing it. The front end is awesome. You can direct the flow of the front end funnel, and then just kick back, go have a life, plug them into these hangouts, and the back end is going to take care of itself, and you don't have to set up another SEO funnel and some other internet marketing stuff to go get $1,000 or a $3,000 product sold with a whole new campaign, redoing all of the article stuff, all of the video stuff, all of the backlinking, pyramids, link wheels, squares, circles, lions and tigers and bears, and all that stuff that they do. That's pretty powerful. So if you've heard a little bit from people from all walks of life, experienced, new, semi-experienced, young, old, whatever, MLM, internet marketing, SEO, I want to bring out another guy. This guy's going to blow your mind. If you think we've set it up, we did. We set it up. We set it up this way. So here's what we're talking about. What if you're part-time? What if you live in New York City? Alex, are you on there, buddy, or is that your picture of Google and Gmail? What if you live in New York City? What if you have a family, a couple of kids, a wife, a couple of SUVs? What if you can only do this part-time? Can it be done? I want to bring out somebody that not only has he proven that it can be done, this guy's smoking it part-time, working at Times Square in New York City with a family, with an accent, my Russian mafia compadre, Alex Zubarev out of New York. This guy's commanding $30 and $40,000 months on a part-time basis. Alex, these guys want to know how to get set up to create $1,000 days. What you got, man?
Hey guys, well, the secret, if we really want to know the secret, it's really her. I mean, get your partner on board, okay?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Get your partner on board.
He called me
That's the real secret. That's the real secret.
She didn't know you were going to give up the secret, Alex.
There's a price for all secrets.
There you go. There you go. Take it to the bank. I mean, once you get your spouse on board, your income just doubles, quadruples. I don't know what the next word is. But that's what happens. I mean, you can do it part-time, absolutely. I mean, when you have a system like Empower Network, I mean, when you really follow the formula, what we teach, 3-step process, you can do it part-time. You don't have to grind it, in front of the computer all day. You just have to see what's working for you and leverage those skill sets that you have. I mean, everybody has skill sets. Everybody has talents. So really just figure out what's working for you and focus on those particular skill sets, and you can do it part-time. Might take you a little bit longer in the beginning, and just keep doing what's working for you. I mean, it's really simple. We have so many examples. I mean, so many people, like Lawrence Dan, for example, started part-time, quit his job, thanks to Empower Network, and we have so many other success stories like that. You don't have to be like a genius, really, to become successful with Empower Network. As long as you focused, you ignore the noise, ignore all the pre-launches, and stay focused and follow the formula that we teach, and follow what your mentor is teaching you. Just duplicate what they're doing. You know, you don't have to get it right to get it going. Just start doing something, you know, and you'll see results. Just, I mean, do you have any particular questions, guys? I mean, anything in particular?
Yeah, I mean, you know, you're part-time, so you have a limited schedule to do this stuff, and you have teammates coming in. Your teammates are coming in, and they're probably like our teammates, right? And they're saying, "Hey, listen, I'm really serious. I want to make 5,000. I want to make 10,000 a month, 5,000 a month. I want to replace my income." What are you telling those teammates right out the gate when they come speak in those terms, man? How do you set them up for success? What do you tell them to do? Maybe 2 or 3 things that they can do to position themselves to have $1,000 day. Well, what are the basics to that you tell them?
Well, really, I just tell them, look, you gotta commit to your business, right? You have to treat your business as a business, not a hobby. Follow 8 core commitments. That's in your back office. Obviously, you want to make more money faster. Obviously, get the rest of the products. Go all in. Okay, because all the technical how to drive traffic, how to create more conversions are in those products, in Costa Rica and 15K formula and master's course. Everything is in there. It's like there. I mean, thanks to Empower, I mean, there was no other program that actually had manual that came with the program how to build this business. Okay, so if you treat it as a business, get the manual, right? Get the products and start implementing the strategies that we teach. And you can start with email marketing. Like, this is what I do every day. I do videos and email marketing. And I'm telling people, look, step outside of your comfort zone. Start shooting those videos. Okay, your first video is probably going to suck, but that's okay. How are you going to react to that? It's your business. You're going to become better and better. The more stuff it's like driving a car, right? One day I didn't know how to drive a car, so I hired an instructor, you know, paid for lessons. I started driving that car until it became natural. I don't even think how I drive the car anymore because it's on subconscious level, right? So it's the same thing with Empower Network Business. The more you do it, the easier it becomes, right? So really follow 8 core commitments, get all in, and get to event in Chicago. We have, what, less than 90 days now, because the magic truly happens at those events. Every single event doubled my income, okay? So if you double my income for a part-timer like you, imagine you're a full-timer, right? And, I mean, your results could be quadruple of my results. As long as you know, commit yourself to your business and allocate a certain period of the day where you completely isolate yourself and work on your business, right? Turn off your TV, turn off Skype, turn off Facebook, and blog, create content, drive traffic to your content, to your videos, build a list, monetize that list, teach others to do the same. Duplication. Simple as that. If you want to get fancy, you're going to get a lot of additional strategies inside of the products. But start with 2 or 3 things and practice them for like 30 days until you master them. And once you master them, you can really outsource those things and start learning something else where you can make even more money. It's really as simple as that. Does that make sense?
No, that's awesome. That makes perfect sense, and I think I can speak for everyone. We're going to bring Aki out in a second here. I'm so fired up right now because the 15K webinar is coming up right now in about a half hour. So guys, I'm going to tell you right now, man, what I took away from what Alex just said is he keeps on saying treat your business as a business, get serious and focused about it, and then get some time where you're completely just unplugged and you're going to focus on learning and mastering 1 or 2 strategies. And what I've been able to do to stay consistent is every single night when everything is done, I'm lucky I'm on the West Coast, where the East Coast goes to sleep, I do a little more work on Facebook, and I'm done for the day. It's not like I'm laying bricks here 10 hours a day, guys, on a construction site or anything like that, right? This is not a combat mission. You know, I'm communicating a simple message of increase to people. Hey, are you in a spot right now in your life where you can use an extra $500, $1,000? Have you been looking already on different ways to make money from home using the internet? Yes or no? And that's the message. You can say that in your own way, a million different ways, and then invite them into a system. So that's the process. But then what I do late at night I shut everything down. I open up my favorite course, the 15K, and then the Costa Rica Mastery, the top of the line one, that like just builds on all those techniques. But I open up the 15K and I study one strategy. And then coming off of that, the next day for about the next week, that is all I'm focused on. And every night I go back and I listen to that strategy again, because I always hear something different. These are top level producers, not paid teachers that come in to create a product and disappear, that haven't done stuff for 10 years. That's not how we roll at Empower Network. The only people teaching and creating these products are people like Alex. He's on some 15K stuff, you know, and they just teach exactly from their level, $20,000 months, $40,000, $100,000 and above months. And those are the kinds of producers that are teaching you what they're doing. So I just listen to it again and again and again and again at midnight, drive it into my conscious, drives it into my subconscious, and I apply every day, every day, every day, and I improve and I get a little bit better, a little bit better, a little bit better. But the beautiful thing is, I don't have to go tromping out all over the internet, guys, to find these strategies. They're all in my back office because I take my business serious. I own everything. Because if I'm going to have an accounting firm, I want to be an expert in accounting. If I want to have a real estate practice, I want to be an expert in real estate, and there's no business I want to let go of. At Empower Network, we're an internet marketing school. I want to own all of the courses so that I can, with full integrity, endorse, edify, and recommend them to other people, and then they buy them, I get 100% commission. So with that, guys, hit the button. If you're already in, get all in. If you're not in yet, and you know this is the first time you've heard us, great, get all in. If you're not ready to get all in, right? Click the button and join us and come on the inside and hang around with us. Go to our hangouts, Empower Hours every Monday. We don't leave anybody else behind, man. If you're serious about changing your life and increasing the level of lifestyle and living life on your terms, hit the button, get started with us. We come from all ages, all backgrounds, all internet, offline, this and that, and we're making it happen. That's why we can tell you 100%, just coming from the heart, we believe in you. We know you can do it. We already know that you can do it. Whether you believe it or not, that's okay, but you don't even have to believe in yourself right now. Just trust me a little bit that we believe in you, and we're going to give you the step-by-steps and plug you into an environment that's going to bring your inner badass out, man, something fierce. And you're capable with this system and these people. You're capable of doing so much more. It'll blow your own mind. You'll lose sleep over how powerful you can become. And that's our name. I mean, it's all about empowering people to break on through. So for any last words, man, there's no other person I would rather bring out than the man, the myth, the legend himself, Aki Wood, and the funky hat. Come on out and take us home, man. I'm fired up about the 15K. I've got my notebook here. I've dated my page. I'm ready to roll into school. Guys, click on the button and join, and let Aki take you home, man. This guy's got tons of experience. He's the brother of David Wood. They've been through the jungles together, hacking all the way through, through all kinds of stuff. If anybody has a real, true, understanding of the value that we're bringing to you, it's Aki, man. So Aki, take it away, brother. What do you got to say to these guys so they can get positioned to have $1,000 days, bro?
Oh, well, I've got a lot. I mean, first of all, let me make sure I'm unmuted. Okay, I'm unmuted, right?
You're good.
Let's see. Okay, I'm good to go. I mean, there's just so much value here. I mean, Franco, I appreciate you because when you talk, I'm learning from you. Troy, when you talk, I'm learning from you. I'm learning from Robert. Learning from Alex and learning from Nat, and I think it's Kevin, right? Is it Kevin? I just want to make sure. I haven't really officially met you yet, Kevin. It's nice to meet you. But, we just have all of these badasses here on the table bringing so much value. And it's like when I'm sitting here listening, it's like half the time you just want to jump in so many times because something somebody says just reminds you of a story, something you've been through, something that you other people are going through. Because we know where you're at, guys. All right, we've all been. I don't care where you are. Maybe you're broke and you're at that point where you just don't even know where the next dollar is going to come from. Your credit cards are maxed out, and you're like, I want to spend $25, but where am I going to come up with it? Look, we've been there. All right, maybe you're one of those people that is, you're making a lot of money. You've actually broken through. You're doing great, but your time is just maxed out because you're on the phone all day. You know, we were talking about three-way calls earlier, and this is a story I told yesterday, Robert, when we were hanging out. It's my favorite three-way call story because we all have horrible ones if you've ever done them. You know, David always talks about the one how he was hanging out with his friend in the back of the refrigerator at night, and then he's like, yes, I got one at 11:30 at night, and he's like, well, you lost one because I quit. I don't want to answer my phone at 11:30. Well, I mean, you know, Franco, you haven't heard this one, so I'll be happy to tell you. I mean, it was I was out at I was out hanging out with this hot girl at a bar when I was single in Phoenix, Arizona. And this is right after the Ramway days. We were in another company, one that was big on three-way calls. And, you know, David actually rings me up, gives me a call, and he's like, dude, I got a hot prospect on the line. They're ready to go. You know, I just talked you up. You know, this guy knows that you walk on water and, you know everything about the industry, and you just got to tell him. And so I get up there, and I'm like, hey, hold on, I got to take a business call. Walk outside, go on this rampage about, you know, how awesome the business is and how they need to join right now, you know, and take action. And they, you know, the person was excited when they were done. I was kind of excited and pumped up. The girl looked at me and she was like, dude, you suck. And I was like, oh, man, you know, it totally blew it. I tell you, the only three-way I wanted to do with that girl was not a phone call. Let me just put it that way right now. So, I mean, it ended up being, you know, just awful. So, guys, three-way calls are awful. All right, you know, they suck. Okay, do they work? Yeah, they're pretty effective. You can bring people in, but you want to be tied to your phone. You want to be making a lot of money and tied to your phone. You know, or you'd rather be making rock star money and only working a couple hours. Because I don't think any of us really work full time. You know, we got Alex here who's part time. You know, he works harder than any of us because he works at a job and then comes back and does it. Like we're like lazy. We're like, you know, I think I'm gonna like go snowboarding for a while and then come back in and you know send some emails and then hop on a chat and hang out with some of my badass friends. I mean, that's just cool. You know, I mean, we can make money doing this. People are actually buying stuff right now. Right now, there's somebody out there that's like, damn, these guys, they're just sitting here talking, having a conversation, enjoying themselves. And, you know, I hate my job. It sucks. I would rather be, you know, doing what they're doing and making money. I'm just going to pull out my credit card and buy. And that's okay. You know, and really, I mean, look, you talked about the 15K formula. We got that coming up in a few minutes. Guys, that is the secret to $1,000 days. It makes it easy. It makes it very easy to make $1,000 days when you're getting $1,000 commissions. You know, I mean, it's that simple. It's like if you have a product that you can sell for $1,000, well, you can get $1,000 commissions. You make your money back like that with one sale. Where can you do that? Where can you get in the black like that? We all come from the traditional background in the industry where you got to get to, and get like a tiny piece of everything everybody does to where eventually it ends up to be, you know, the amount that you're spending on your auto ship every month. You know, I mean, let's be honest. Let's just break it down for about 30 seconds because this is the traditional, you know, the traditional model, right? It's like you sell something for $1,000 in the traditional model, which I have sold buy-ins for $1,000 and people bought them. What did I get? Typically $200 on the front end. I sold stuff for $500 with $100 on the front end, right? What's that? That's 20%. So on the front end, boom, right there, you get 20%, you know, back off what you bought in, right? Then you get like 2 to 10% residual after that, right? What do we have in our products? You know, and then the auto ship is typically, you know, $100 to $200 a month in network marketing. What do we have? We have $125 a month auto ship. You get somebody comes in at 125, you get 125. Now you're in the black. You get your next one. Hey, it passes up. You're blessing the guy that brought in. That's still 100% commissions, by the way, guys. Every now and again, there's some random critic that's like, well, that's not 100% commissions. There's pass ups. Yeah, 100% commissions. Number one means 100% payouts. Okay, 100% of the money gets paid back to the reps. It might not be you, but it's going to somebody. Because when they talk about 50% payout comp plans, that means 50% gets paid back to the reps. The other 50% goes back to the company. Here, nothing goes back to the company because the owners, my brother, make the same amount of money, or make the money the same way that we earn money. And that's powerful. So nobody's got a special deal here. They actually pass up to the company. Yeah, I actually didn't know that for a long time. I was like, yeah, well, they do got a little bit of a special deal. You know, they're not giving any pass-ups, right? No, they pass up to the company. The company gets my brothers and David Sharp's pass-ups. And Lawrence Tam was actually sponsored by the company, not by them. So all that volume going down through that leg is all going up. Now, you know, some of you might be listening if you're prospects, and you're like, who's Lawrence Tam? I don't even know who that is. But, I mean, guys, he was a #1 income earner for a long time. He passed up a lot of money. And by pass-ups, we mean we're just blessing the person that sponsored you. Just like Troy waves his hand and blesses the internet and sites magically rank up on top, you know? So, I mean, it's a good thing. Pass-ups are a good thing because, like, if somebody showed you this opportunity, you should want to give them money. You know, I mean, seriously, because this is some incredible stuff. And so, you know, when we talk about buying a $1,000 product, you know, making a decision and deciding that, you know, this is for you. When we talk about doing something like that, you know, guys, you got to understand the value of the product, right? I mean, like when you go out there and you go to school, you know, I mean, I know personally, I actually went to college. Basically, the only reason I finished, honestly, is because it was easy. I was in Hawaii and I could, you know, surf, and I figured out how to like not go to class very much and still get decent grades. But and it was fun, you know. So it was fun. I was having a good time, so I finished college. You know, otherwise I would have quit if I wasn't having a good time. So, but so you know, I finished college. I still probably spent on my college career maybe you know, probably $50,000 about. You know, for 4 years of college, you know, give or take, right around in that time. And that's actually cheap. You know, I know a lot of people spend 40, 50 grand a year if they're going to a good college, right? Mm-hmm. What did that get me? What did that get for me?
The chance to get an interview.
It did. You know the funny thing though. Here's what happened when I got out of college. Right? When I got out of college, I decided to move to Phoenix, Arizona. I had two brothers that were living there at the time. David was one of them. I went there to live with David. When he talks about how he used to live in this crappy apartment and sleep on the floor, that is the truth. Why do I know that's the truth? Because when I moved there, he was in that crappy apartment, and I slept on the floor with him for the first couple of weeks. And I was like, David, this place sucks. Dude, we gotta go get another apartment somewhere, because this just ain't gonna cut it. You know what I mean? I was single at the time, and there wasn't no way. Let me just put it that way. You know, I mean, it was not happening. You know, this was not a happening bachelor pad. For one thing, David doesn't know how to clean. When he talks about how he needs maids and doesn't really know how, he means it. He really doesn't. He used to like put the blender on because he'd do these raw food smoothie deals and like turn it on high, and it would spray without the lid on top. It would spray like all over the cup with these white cupboards that we have. And, you know, he'd be like, oh, okay, there's some spots on the counter. Totally miss them. He'd, like, put it away, and there's just crap everywhere. I'm like, David, what are you doing? He's like, what are you talking about? What mess? I cleaned up. And I'm like, dude, what about the cupboard? Oh, crap, I didn't see that. And I'm like, I guess not, huh? You know, so and he's got maids. His house is immaculate now, and that's awesome. You know what I mean? So I'm just kind of getting off on a bunch of random subjects here, but so anyway, so we moved into this apartment, right? We moved in this apartment in Central Phoenix. If you're from Phoenix, it's on the corner of the 202 and the 51, right there by Tempe. And you know, had a decent place, and still slept on the floor for a little while. We both eventually got beds, but when I first moved to Phoenix, right? You know, David was working somewhere, and he actually had a decent, you know, not a decent job, but he was making like, you know, $30,000 a year rather than $30,000 a month, or, you know, 35. But coming right out of college, that at the time it wasn't that bad. I'm like, yeah, maybe I'll apply there and try to get a job. So I applied to where David was, and he had no college, right? And went in to go for an interview. And as I'm going in for this interview, they're like, you know, hey, we're gonna have you take a personality test. Just answer honestly. This has nothing to do with your employment, right? And I was like, okay, cool. And so they're going through and they're asking questions like, would you rather work inside or outside? And I'm like, I kind of like being outside. I'd rather be like doing something awesome, you know. And they're like, would you rather sit like at a desk and answer phones all day, or would you rather be like communicating with people or like hanging out with people? And I'm like, well, I'd rather be hanging out with people drinking. That sounds more fun to me. You know, so I'm just sitting there answering these questions completely honestly, right? And it's got nothing to do with my employment, right? Put in the profile test. It goes ding, 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 ding into a computer. They call me and I'm like, I'm sorry, but you failed the personality test. You can't sit here and answer phone calls all day. And I'm like, really? I seriously almost wanted to cry. I was like, dude, I just went to 4 years of college, and my brother, who like just, you know, dropped out of college like after a year and just like took kung fu classes and like sleeps on the floor, got this job, and here I am with a college degree trying to get it. I learned a lesson in that though. I lied on every single personality test that I ever took after that for a job. They're like, I was like, so what do I do in this job? Well, you sit on the foot, you sit down and you answer phone calls all day. I'm like, that's what I love. You know what I mean? I couldn't like anything more, but guys, it sucks. Jobs like that suck. I mean, the highlight of the job that I got when I was in Phoenix was when I finally decided to quit. And I finally decided to quit, and I was going to move back to Hawaii and just kind of be a surf bum. You know, be a surf bum and do some network marketing. So that's what I figured I was going to do for a while. I'd go back there, and you know, I remember, you know, have you ever had a job? Anybody? I mean, where you're at your job, you know, and you're just, the boss changes the rules here and there, or you have like the manager of the week. You've been there for longer than the managers, and they come in, they're making new rules, and it's like you learn to do it their way, and so like you can kind of like do your thing and fly under the radar, and somebody new comes in, or the shit rolls downhill. You got like a boss up here, you know, and he gets mad at your boss, and so then your boss changes the rules on you. Well, in this particular job, they didn't care. It was a sales job, and I could sell. And so when they didn't care if I showed up on time. They're like, yeah, you can be 15, 20 minutes late. And I'm like, perfect. I'm 15, 20 minutes late to everything. Just perform. And I was like, I can do that, right? Well, shit rolled downhill. This boss got mad at that boss. He said, you know what, your people got to be on time. Our numbers are down and blah, blah, blah. So he started getting on my ass about being on time, which was hard for me. It took me about 2 or 3 weeks to finally get it down. Well, I finally got it down. I remember one day I was rushing, speeding, weaving in between cars, trying to get to work so I didn't get late and didn't get yelled at. Pulled into the office. I looked at my watch, and I'm like, man, I got 2 minutes. This is awesome. So I walked in feeling like $1 million. I mean, I just beat the clock, broke about 15 laws to get there on the way there. I walked into the office in my freaking suit and tie, which I don't like to wear that much, and you know, walked in. The whole office is around the desk. Whole office is around the desk, and they all look at me. And my boss looks at me and he says, "You're late." I said, I'm not late. I got 2 minutes. And he said, where's your report? You're supposed to have your report at 8 o'clock. And I just looked at him and I said, fuck you. And he goes, and I just, like, you should have seen, like, the like rain from his face and then fill back up with red, just absolutely irate. And he's like, what? Fuck me? Fuck? Did you just tell me to fuck off? And I'm like, yeah, you know what? I did. Sorry about that. He's like, I don't know if I should fire you or not or what. He's like, meeting canceled in the back room. So he pulls me in the back room. He's like, you know, I know you don't want to do this forever. I know you don't want to do this forever, but dude, I don't know if I should fire you or what. I mean, how long you plan on being here? I'm like, well, actually, I was gonna quit at the end of the month. So I mean, if you want to fire me, I understand, man. You know, I mean, I like you and everything, but this job sucks. You know, and he's like, oh, you know, it actually worked out pretty well because he ended up giving me, they severed me and gave me 2 weeks pay and my vacation. So I got to tell my boss to fuck off and get paid for 2 weeks. So it was pretty fantastic. So why am I telling this story? Because the reason I'm telling the story, guys, is because I know there's a lot of you out there that just want to say that to your boss. You want it. It just boils your blood every single day. You know, maybe it's a new boss that came up with some new rules. Maybe it's a boss that, you know, had something roll up from downhill. I don't know what job you're working, but I do know that jobs suck because I've worked a lot of them. I've gotten fired from several of them because I don't like to show up on time. If you're kind of like that and you're in that world, maybe you do show up on time and you do everything perfect. But guys, there's a better way. You can roll over rather than roll out. You don't have to wake up to an alarm clock. There's something better out there. You can make $1,000 days. All right? How do you do that? Well, get in. Get all in. Don't miss out because you will miss out if you don't do it. You talked about the guy that, hey, sponsored somebody. The other person bought all the products, and he missed out on probably $4,000 that day.
Yep.
$4,000. You know, there's another guy. This is the biggest. What's that?
A $4,000 day.
Yeah.
And his original sponsor bailed out on that. And this other guy, he's fired up building a team. So it's not just one day's income that this other guy just bailed out on.
It could have been it could have been it could be $1 million he bailed out on.
It's crazy, man. You gotta get positioned, guys. You gotta get positioned to win.
Yeah, straight up and serious. I mean, that's it right there. I mean, the 15K formula, you were talking about the value behind it and how you go and listen to it every night. There's one module. I mean, not just one module. I haven't been through all the modules because every now and again I get spacey and forget that it's Thursday. Because for me, I have like 6 Saturdays and a Sunday. So I'm not really sure what day of the week it is half the time. And all of a sudden I'm like, crap, that 15K is going on. I really wanted to be on it. And so I end up popping into it, right? And so I'm getting on it and getting on or whatever. So I'll catch the replay. But I listened to one that I missed was one my brother David did actually it was on basically like selling through video and how video marketing can work. And he was talking about embedded commands. I think it's module 4 or 5 in there. And man, I was listening to that thing and I was just like, holy holy crap. I'll stop cussing for a minute. You know, I was like, oh, holy crap. You know, I mean, this is insane. This is really, really good. I've listened to that 3 times this week. 3 times this week, and I'll tell you right now, that module is worth more than the entire price of the entire product by itself. And the funny thing is, there's probably 5 or 10 modules that are worth more than $1,000 by themselves. Why is it worth more than $1,000? Well, what did my college degree get me? Rejected from a crappy job, rejected from a telemarketing job. That's what my college degree got me. Nothing. All right, absolutely nothing. A little title, a little piece of paper I can hang up and be proud of. A pat on my back from my parents, thumbs up. You know, I got to wear a dress for a day and sit and listen to a bunch of boring people tell me about how great I am for graduating from something. That's it. That's all I got. You know, what have I gotten from the Empower Network? I've had breakthroughs. You know, I've had personal breakthroughs. I've had just amazing things. I mean, Austin changed the game. All right, guys, there's something powerful coming out. I'm going to tell you right now. If you're thinking about promoting the Empower Network, it just got easier. I'm going to and I can reveal this just because I know that it's happening right now. I'm kind of helping with it a little bit. I can reveal this it's a little on the down low still, so you guys are going to get it. But if you go to the front blog, probably right now, it might not be there yet, which everybody knows you can put !ID equals on the end of your thing and actually code it to yourself. Now, a lot of people, they're like, you know, what am I going to email to my list? What am I going to send out? Well, in Austin, Texas, they had video cameras following around all the leaders the entire time, and they were filming conversations left and right. And they got some powerful stuff. Well, that's being released in 5-minute clips on a daily basis by professional editors. Wow. And these videos are inspirational. I'm telling you that right now. They give me chills just watching them. They get pumped. Seriously. I mean, I don't know if it's up on the front blog right yet, but I know because I actually wrote the copy on the post. So it's guys, it is good. It's good stuff. It's really good stuff, and it's going to sell for you because why? What's attractive to new people coming in here? A system that sells for you. You know, you can make $1,000 days without doing anything. Franco, you had that day. You had that $4,000 day because a sponsor quit. You had nothing to do with that.
Yeah, man.
Just yesterday I had a guy. He didn't have $1,000 day, but you know, I think this guy might be watching. Badass on my team out in Australia. You know, he's been he's been in the Empower Network for a while, and you know, kind of watching. He was in it, and he kind of like drifted away for a little bit. He's like, you know, maybe I'm not going to do it, but you know, this community keeps moving. And people that do that, they keep seeing what's going on. He kept seeing the commissions come in, and he kept seeing people making money. He's like, man, he wanted it more and more. And he went in, and he bought the Costa Rica Masters product, got back in on the Inner Circle membership, got back in on the $25 blogging product. Boom, right there. Now, here's the thing: if you got 2 or 3 people on your team, you know, and you're not upgraded, you're waiting until you make more money so you can upgrade, dude, you're blowing it because those people that are on your team, they might even be inactive right now, but they might be watching. And like and one day they might just say, you know what, dude, I'm in. I've been watching this, and I realize this is a movement. I realize how powerful this is. And I'm in, and I'm all in, and they're going to buy those products, and you're getting an email that says you just lost a $100 commission, you just lost a $500 commission, you just lost a $1,000 commission, you just lost a $3,000 commission, and you are going to want to cry yourself to sleep. So, you know, I mean, seriously, if you're if you're by yourself and you want to piddle around and try to get somebody for $25, you're going to have more trouble because here's the problem. When somebody says, what do you come in at? You're going to be like 25, and they'll be like, well, you don't really believe it works, do you? You got to believe it. All right? You got to believe that this works, and it does work. This works for a lot of people. It's not just us making money. When we do the commission countdown, you see the whole room standing up saying, I've made at least $25. Look, guys, you ain't the only sucker out there, all right? If you bought it, somebody else is going to buy it. Ding, 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 hello. I mean, it's really funny when people say nobody's interested. It's like, well, 80,000 people joined. You joined. What, are you the only moron on the planet? Come on now. Let's be real here. Look, and we have valuable products, you know. And the last thing I want to say is this just has to do with Alex. Alex touched on this. I think Nat touched on this. You might have touched on it too, Franco. It's shiny ball syndrome. All right, you know, guys, get focused. Get focused on what you're doing, because the one of the big lies of the internet, because we promised about talking about lies of the internet, is that multiple streams of income, make tons of income from everywhere, do this product launch, do that product launch, you can make all this cash, and all these promises of money. But what does it do? It gets you exhausted, distracted, and you end up making a little bit, but then you blow out your list. They don't trust you because the product sucked. And they don't trust you because the product sucked, and then all of a sudden it's like, then when you have something good to sell, well, I've done it. Look, I know, because I didn't know when I got online. I'm like, okay, what's the good products? I went through a bunch of garbage that I thought was good, sold it, made some like freaking wuss hole commissions, just awful, a little bit here and there, a little bit there, and just had bad products that the promise was good. I had reputable marketers telling me it's great, so I'm like, I'm in, man. I'll sell that. I like you. I did like the guys, but the truth is the product sucked. We have really high quality products that are built and designed to help people have breakthroughs. And we're not, dude. We're not saturated. We're not even close. What we are is we just got started. If you were in Austin, that the Empower Network was born in Austin, Texas. I didn't know it before that. But the Empower Network was born in Austin, Texas. Before that, it was in the womb. You haven't seen anything yet. There are people that have not joined that are going to have more people on their team, that are going to have 10 times the people on their team that are in the company right now. And you can look at what we're doing and you can let it pass you by, or you can join the movement, you can join the revolution, you can get started, you can earn 100% commissions, you can get all in, and you can move with us. And that's all I got to say, Franco. Back to you.
Oh yes, man. That's what I'm talking about. That's real, guys. I mean, let me leave you with this, because we're starting our next course over at the 15K. Buy it, click the button, get in your back office, and upgrade right now. I'm telling you, man, you're leaving a lot of money on the table, and a lot of leverage and a lot of systematic, ease type of money creation on the table the longer you wait to be all in this thing. Because what Aki just said is the absolute truth, man. I was one of those guys going from launch to launch to launch and all that. Don't do that. You scatter yourself so thin, you blow out your list, you got to start over all the time, and more than half of that stuff is utter and complete rehashed garbage that's going to get a lot of refunds. Here, we've got the launch that never ends. We've got the freaking launch that never ends, because it's cohesive, it's great people, and it's just a continuity. It's a progression. People get in, they fall in love with the calls, they got to get the inner circle. They fall in love with the inner circle, we guide them on why, like we did tonight, to get all in. So it's only a matter of time. Then they're going to events, maybe their first event all by themselves. That blows their mind. The next event, their wife is there, their kids are there, and they got a team of 15 to 20 people. Their third event, they're blowing you up. That's just what we keep seeing time after time after time. So I'll leave you with one thing that you may or may not have noticed. If you were invited here, you probably got invited to a really nice, sexy-looking little page, right? And it's got a funky link, and at the end of that link, it looks like a little username there. Guess what? When you sign up with us on this team, you don't only get this page. We're serious when we say we do a lot of the work for you, selling and presenting and talking and testimonials and stories, and everything that we did right now is recorded. It's going to sit on this page. The second you sign up, you get a whole host of pages on different kinds of trainings and inspiration and motivation and closing sales for you that we do, so that when anybody asks you anything about how the Empower Network works and you're brand new and you're a little jittery, send them to your blog and then say, you know what, I'm going to send you to a page where a bunch of some leaders were hanging out, just putting it all out there, just hanging out with us, and it's closing sales for me. It's designed to close sales for you too. The minute you join, you can use these pages and just put your Empower Network at the end of it and share it on Facebook. Share it at the end of a YouTube channel. There's nothing in the industry that's more simple to do than Empower Network. Having said that, there's probably nothing in the industry that's more simple not to do, because the darn thing is so easy. A lot of people procrastinate, and they're going to wait for this, wait for that. But I'll tell you this, if you're in and you're not all in yet, get all in, because in USA anyway, we're sitting right in the middle of tax refund season. And the reason somebody went super all in, mega all in today, is because his tax return came back and he already had fallen in love with this whole funnel and he was going to join. It was just a matter of time. So you want to be positioned to be all in as your team has the same thing happen. They're collecting a couple of paychecks. They're waiting on a new roofing job. They're getting ready for this promotion or this bonus that's going to be paid to them or tax refunds. They're going to use that. They're going to collect their profits. They're going to upgrade. You want to be upgraded in position because that's how you create $1,000 day, my friend. And you don't, once you're positioned, all you really have to do is edify, endorse, and invite to these types of events, to our calls, Empower Network calls, videos. There's something Aki was talking about. There's something at the front of that corporate blog every single day. And on our team, there's all these leaders here. We have awesome content, and we share it in our. We have a daily training session. We have a daily mindset call. We have daily assignments that tell you what to do to give you ideas and inspire you on what you can blog about. Or you can copy and swipe if you're brand new. Copy and swipe what we're doing and throw it up on your blog and just inject a little bit of your personality in it. It's got keywords, it's got research, it's got calls to action, it's got embedded commands like Augie was saying. We study the material, so you can just get yourself going that way. But nothing happens until you make a decision to get in, my friend. So I don't know how else we can lay it down, guys. They've got everything on a silver platter, and all you have to do is just trust us a little bit, not even a whole lot, just a little bit. Make the decision, get in, prove us wrong. Allow me to prove us wrong or prove us right. Put the whole risk on me and hang out with us for 31 days and tell me we didn't deliver, if you're just getting in now for 25 bucks, that we didn't deliver $25 worth of value at the end of 30 days. It's ridiculous, guys. Go all in, because we're marching forward like crazy to our next event in Chicago, and I want to teach you how to kind of target your marketing so you pinpoint select areas where we're going to be at and blow up that meeting, and we'll blow you up even faster. And that's information that we train our all-in teammates. So we like to work seriously with serious people. Get in to feel us out, but then get all in as soon as possible and really work as a unified team to blow this thing up. The faster we help you get where you want to go, the faster we get where we're all going, guys. So we're going to head on into the 15K training, guys. Hit the button, sign up, sign into your back office, upgrade, and meet us in the classroom. We're going to be in there in about 5 minutes. And right now we got about 4 minutes to go, guys. I'm going to do a quick roundtable, man. I'm going to Kevin Souza real quick for parting words, guys. What do you guys got in 5 to 10 seconds? Leaving with some inspiration. Kevin, you got it, buddy.
All right. Good to see everybody here. Do what Franco said. Just get in and get all in. Click the link below. Register now. You want more information? There's another more information button below that. But just get in. That's the bottom line. You're joining something that's the greatest opportunity on this planet. That's all I have to say.
Awesome. Big Nat.
Just do it. You owe it to yourself and your family. If you don't do it, you obviously hate your family. Don't hate your family.
I love it. I love it. Robert Mercado.
Franco, just wanted to thank you. I got 2 new members on my team with Empower Network, and that's the power of leveraging out hangouts like this. Yes, I spoke and I did a little bit of participation, but I can invite people here, willingly and trustingly, where, the work is done for me. Also, quick, if you didn't upgrade to Costa Rica 15K and Master's Course, do it now. You know how we always talk about missing those commissions? I guarantee you, every single one of you is going to get one if you're not upgraded, especially for tax season. Because Franco brought it up. What do people do when they got the money, right? That's always been the excuse. I don't have the money. Well, the tax season is here. Everyone's getting a couple thousand, at least 1,000. Guess what they're going to do with that? They're going to upgrade. So make sure if you haven't done it already, do it now. I'm telling you. You can't be mad at us. You got to be mad at yourself if you to make the decision.
Absolutely, guys. You pay for those higher ticket courses one time. You earn on them forever, 100% commissions. Mr. Troy Shanks.
I'm happy to be here with you guys, part of this team. Just like Robert said, we actually signed up 2 people, so we brought in 7 new people today.
Nice.
And guys, listen, a system, it literally stands for save yourself time, energy, and money. Buy into the system as an investment back into yourself, and that's all I really got to say. Get all in.
Bracelets up. All in bracelets up, baby.
Yeah.
The Russian.
We didn't even plan to all have them on.
Or where's his secret? Where's Alex? Hey, Alex. He's on the phone closing a deal. Look at him. He's on the phone closing a deal. This is a teammate upgrading. Alex says get in, get all in. That's what Alex is talking about. Hey, man, we believe in you guys. we believe in you, man. We know you have everything that it takes to make this thing happen. It can happen in a short amount of time. It doesn't have to take long, but you know, Franco, how soon can I make money in this thing? How soon can you make a decision? That really is what it gets down to, guys. Click the button, join us. We ain't gonna bite you. We'll probably bear hug you to death in Chicago. We ain't gonna bite you. Alex is back. Hey, Alex, you on the phone or you want to say bye here? He's good. He's good. Guys, get all in. We'll see you inside 15K coming up. Love you guys, man. Hit the button and then use this recording and share it on Facebook and on YouTube. And those are free methods, guys. We'll leave you with that. Go get your money. Blog daily, market daily, and go get your money. It can be as simple as that. This is Franco signing off for the team, guys. See you guys next week.
Bye, guys.